What's going on, everyone? It's great to see you all again. So today we're in for a little bit of a special treat. I have my beautiful wife Mariah with me.
Hi guys.
So Mariah is obviously my wife, but also my best friend and the ultimate love of my life. And the reason I've got her with us today is because in this video we're going to talk all things relationships. So I thought I'd better consult an expert. And the reason why we're going to talk about relationships is, let's be honest, the relationships are there to really magnify everything that we feel. And we've all seen those couples who are out there and they're lovey-dovey and they just overflow with happiness and joy and all of those great things. But we've also seen the other end where there's a lot of stress in relationships. And typically when there's stress and it builds up, relationships can really get over the top. And we've even seen it, well, not personally, but we've heard of those stories where unfortunately it has ended up in violence, and that's just because things become more magnified and more intense when you are in a relationship. So today we're going to look at some key ways for both men and women to really make the most out of their relationship. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so before we get into it, I just want to clarify a couple of things. Throughout this video, we're going to use the words men and women or that type of thing, but I just want to clarify that when we speak about men and women, what we are actually talking about is masculine and feminine energy. Now, all of us, whether you're man, woman, or anything like that, basically we all have a masculine and feminine energy, and basically throughout the day we fluctuate between the two consistently because life is fluid and so does our fluctuations. But what studies have found is that between 60 to 80% of men will typically default to a masculine energy, and the same rough numbers for women will typically default to a feminine energy. So just like we have the ability to fluctuate between the two, we will dominate to one, just like we have a dominant hand, right? So keep that in mind when we're talking about men and women in this context. Alright, so let's get into it. So Mariah,
Yes.
for all the gentlemen out there, what are the keys to really making a lady happy and loving and feeling safe, secure, vibrant, and all these wonderful things in a relationship?
Alright, well, you know exactly how I feel about people sometimes don't get their partners, which is absolutely understandable. But the most common things that a lady would like to know is to how she feels or how she's portrayed to be understood by her partner. This means allowing her to talk about whatever is bothering her or whatever her day was, and actually listening and just nodding like Travis is right now. That's a good sign to let you all know that she just wants to talk, basically. That's all. And having her feelings validated. That's another thing that's very important in this experience, because our feelings are just what drives us to be who we are in any human. Like, they love to feel things and connect and have a show of passion or intensity or anything like that. Even like holding hands is such a strong feeling. It's so intense. It's so great to have. Listening to them, just nodding and and just like putting some feedback in when is necessary to do so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can I also say, gentlemen,
Absolutely.
please, under no circumstances, when a woman or your significant other is sharing their problems with you, please do not solve the problem. I just want to point out that your lady already knows how to solve the problem. They want to just share their feelings with you. So just understand and validate their feelings. That is the key.
Unless she generally asks you, what should I do about this problem? Then you can voice your opinion or your problem solving skills. But unless she asks, maybe hold back from that and just listen, because that's very important.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. What I found works really well is if you just appreciate and say, look honey, that sounds so tough. I'm sorry to hear you going through that, and just connect with her on that. Yeah. So when she's explaining it, she wants to connect. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I am learning. Excellent. Thanks, honey.
Alright, so women also like to feel noticed. So it's very important to be noticed and feeling noticed. You always make me feel noticed. Like, you always ask me, like when you're up, you say, do you want a tea or do you want a coffee or something like that, just to bring it together. Or I'll give you an example. When we're at the shops, Travis is like, oh, let's go do this. Like, just one of us go, because we have a 2-year-old. But I like to connect in a bigger way. So I was like, why don't we all go and share the same experience just like this? So that's another way that I feel very touched and loved by Travis, because he always tries to make an experience for me that I'm wanting to have. So that's a good way, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and taking time in knowing small details in one another, like if I change my hair, or anything like that, or like if you tidy up the house or do the dishes, it's always good to know that your significant other appreciates the small changes that you do, not just the big grand gestures as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Pay attention, gentlemen. Pay attention to your lady and make her feel noticed. All right, excellent. What else, honey?
What else? We always like to feel safe. Generally, men are quite bigger and stronger than the female form, and that's kind of sometimes intimidating. But we always like to feel safe. We like a strong man, but can also make us feel secure in a lot of different ways. It can, yeah.
Like protected?
Yeah, protected.
Yep.
What else would you say? I can't.
What I've found, right, is in many things, yeah, obviously life is full of decisions and we have lots and lots of decisions that we need to make. I found that typically, I don't know if this is true for you, but if I'm decisive.
Yes, that is a very big part.
Yep, and that helps.
Yes.
That's just, what else do you think? Like, what else makes you feel safe?
Allow me to open up without any sort of judgment or anything like that. So opening up and feeling respected as...
Yeah, respected, reliable.
Reliable, that's another good one, yeah.
Absolutely.
Making sure that I am a priority in your life as well. That's really opens up and helps me realise how important you are as well. So you respecting me makes me respect you 10 times fold.
Oh, that's beautiful. Absolutely. So gentlemen, absolutely, it's your goal to make your lady feel safe, to feel protected in your environment. And when she does, and I know when Mariah feels safe, because Mariah is very open, and it's just this wonderful, warm experience that we share, and it's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, be reliable, and be decisive, make decisions, and definitely make your lady a priority as well, and let her be feminine and all the beauty that comes with that. All right, thank you so much. All right, that's my turn. Ladies, this is the keys to making your man feel loved. Now, contrary to popular beliefs, men do have emotions and we actually do feel things very, very deeply. We just show it in a very different way, okay? So there's a couple of key things that I've personally found that have been amazing, and Mariah does this extremely well. So the very, very first thing that men need to feel is appreciated, right? So in oftentimes men want to give you the world. We want to give you everything. We want to make sure that you are happy in every single way that we can, right? And so if we're feeling like we're constantly being criticized, that feels like kryptonite to us. It will just break us down and we will just feel like we cannot ever win you over. So appreciate when we go out and we work really hard, even if it's just a small, seemingly insignificant thing. If we do something, just appreciate it and we will ultimately just feel on top of the world, right? It is just the best thing ever. Mariah does this a lot and she does it very well. And I know it's sincere, so when you offer appreciation, make sure it's sincere. Don't just say it if you don't mean it, because that doesn't count. So be sincere, and on the receiving end, men will absolutely just melt for that. So that is the definite first key to making your man happy. The second thing that is very, very important for all men is that we need to feel free. So we need to feel like we have almost the permission to go and pursue things, or to work on goals, or pursue hobbies, or whatever it is. We don't want to feel kind of micromanaged and tied down, and we just don't, because if we do feel like that and feel controlled, we'll ultimately just get resentful, and resentment is like an acid to any relationship. It'll wear it down very, very quickly, and that will just lead to bigger problems. So ladies, if you can make your man feel free and make him feel appreciated, you will go a long way, and Mariah has done a tremendous job of that. I'll give you just a really great example. So recently, a few weeks ago, I was working in a full-time job that I just generally wasn't happy in. And don't get me wrong, there's aspects of the job I liked, but ultimately I really wasn't happy. So we made the very bold decision for me to resign from that, and for Mariah to kind of allow that was just a massive thing, because by doing that, it has helped both of us focus on this type of thing, which is really our dream to do. But you know, that takes a lot of courage and a lot of I guess tenacity and faith on Mariah's part, and I just want to say honestly, it just is the most freeing thing for me, and I just felt so loved and appreciated, so thank you for that, honey. So that's just a really good example, but it doesn't have to be on a big scale like that. Anything that you can do to make your man feel free, he will come back and he'll give you tenfold, I promise. The last thing that I would love to say is men really like to feel opened up to. Now, that goes contrary to what was commonly believed. Like, typically women say that, you know, when they talk, men don't really kind of respond. But we do. We love it. So we just do it in a different way to how you would do it if you were with a group of ladies, right? A group of ladies will typically go back and forth and they will talk, whereas a man will do it differently. We won't necessarily talk a lot about feelings.
Yes.
We can do, and especially when we feel, you know, appreciated and safe, we'll definitely do that. But if you are just open and you're just yourself and you're expressing your emotions, honestly, it is just beautiful. Especially, you know, if we've gone out and been at work all day as an example, and it's, you know, it's hot, or we're exhausted, we're stressed out, we come home and you're just there and you're just there in all your glory, and you just open up and you're affectionate, and it's just kind of like a soothing cream to a burn. It's just beautiful. And honestly, it is absolutely the best. And so, ladies, if you can do that for your man, he will never ever stop loving you, I promise. So those are some keys that we found that have really helped us in our relationship, and we found that it's just, you know, we've been married almost 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
And yet it feels like we're still in a honeymoon phase. We still hold hands wherever we go. We still laugh, we joke, we're playful, we're loving. What do you have to say about any of this? What would you like to add on to all my...
Oh, I don't know.
From a lady's perspective?
Well, as Travis said, like, we all do all that lovey-dovey stuff that we have done since we first met, and it's absolutely... There's no chance of it slowing down. I mean... No. Marrying your best friend is one of the best things you can possibly do. Build up a relationship, get the trust, get the respect, get the appreciation. All of the qualities that we have mentioned goes a long way in helping your relationship grow and thrive. And not just for you, if you have children, they will see this relationship thrive and they will want a thriving relationship too. So that's another thing that just brings it out and makes it more special to have, because it's just awesome. Everything. It's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, guys, I hope this helps. I hope there's some takeaways that you can get from this as well. Please, if you have anything that you want to add to that, please pop it in the comments, or anything that you found useful or helpful. But we really appreciate all of your support and all of you guys watching this. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to our channel. We're only relatively new and we're growing, and we just absolutely love producing this stuff. And who knows, we might get Mariah on some more of our videos going forward. Maybe. But thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you all on the next one.
Bye.